Good morning and welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message. And beautiful Sunday morning here in the Catskills. If you're watching this as a video, here's what we're going to do in this video. We're going to talk a little bit about what's going on. We're going to do a meditation card. We're going to talk a little bit about tarot and how to use tarot. And we're going to do a 3-card spread about the coming week, what Spirit wants to tell us. And I'm going to turn the pings off of my computer. Then we have angel card. I have a Native American cards I pull from, medicine cards. So it's all about, let's have a little bit of fun on a Sunday morning, do some divination. Let's see if we can learn a couple of things. Let's see if we can, as a community, maybe support one another through these tough and changeable times. So I'm just going to say a few quick hellos. Again, if you're here as a video, just to let the live people, give them a chance to come in. And we have Claire and Coyote Candles. Nice. Mercury is stationing right now. And I always look at Mercury as the coyote of the planets, like the cosmic trickster. So Mercury is stationing. I'll get to that in a second. And hi, Michelle. Hi, I'm new. I'm old, 63 to be exact, but I'm glad that you're new and welcome. Thanks for coming in. And all right, so getting back, so Coyote Candles, your name inspired me to tell a little story. Hi, Pauline, and of course Sharita is in. She's our expert numerologist, astrologer, lexigram queen, and a few other good things. So she'll keep us up to date with some of the astrology and what's going on. So as I'm talking, also keep an eye in the comments because there may be some really good messages that come through there also. Yeah. So Mercury, went out of retrograde. What was it, Friday morning or officially? But the way the planets work, they station for a while, like they don't move. So it's really not till I think Tuesday or Wednesday that Mercury starts to advance and go and really start to go forward again. So talk about like the coyote, the cosmic trickster. The coyotes in the Native American traditions are the tricksters, but they're the teachers also. So sometimes we need to get tricked to learn. Humans have these egos and we can be really stubborn and really set in our ways. It's part of our survival instinct. So typical of the Mercury transits. Yesterday morning I couldn't find my keys. Thankfully, I have a spare fob for my car, and somebody let me in my office. But the thing is, I can be like the absent-minded professor. I know that. So yeah, as much as I talk about presence, I guess we all have to have a little contradiction in us somewhere. But having talking a little bit about astrology, having both my Mercury and Venus conjunct in Virgo, I can be pretty retentive in certain areas also. So there's a place where my keys go because I know I could lose them so there's a designated place for all the important things. So I'm ready to go get in the car, and I couldn't find my keys, and for the next 15 minutes I was like keeping my cool, looking around. I even went through the kitchen garbage twice, looked everywhere, started to lose my patience, lose my temper a little bit. But anyway, so I got to my office and did my readings and everything. And Andy Paradiso, who has a gem store right next to where my office is, and he's a good friend of mine. I was telling him the story, and he's like, "Oh yeah, they're hiding them on you. Just ask them nicely to give it back." Them meaning the mischievous spirits or the fairies or whatever. So I said to him, "You mean so yelling at them was not a good idea?" And he kind of like shook his head and went, "No." So so I came home. I made nice with the spirits. I did my Ho'oponopono prayers. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I called on St. Anthony. I visualized my keys, and they were in the kitchen garbage. And I looked there like twice. It's like how would you throw a set of keys away? So I don't know. Yeah, I have a feeling the spirits were messing with me, but this is a typical Mercury retrograde story. So now I think everybody or most people are in that are going to be in live. So I think we can start with that. So, anyways, info pass here. Thank you. Oh yeah, yes. So what's going on other than the fact that where's Mercury? Is it 26 degrees of Taurus now? Like which of course is affecting like it's squaring my moon and anyway, that's a whole other story. We'll keep the personal stories out of this, but Mercury and Saturn just went retrograde. So Saturn just went retrograde. Mercury just went direct. Saturn's what, like 26 or 27, and I can't even keep track of these things. That's what we have Sharita for. Anyway, a couple things, I was asking Spirit, like, what's going on? Because I haven't really been keeping up too much with news and current events and stuff like that. I mean, I try to keep my finger on the pulse a little bit. I've been saying, for a while, there's a little bit of a lull, but the activity is going to start to pick up, and it will as the month goes on. So one thing that popped up in my mind is solar flares or mass coronal ejection. So I think that's either happening or about to happen. And if anybody keeps up on space weather and you can verify that, let us know. So that came up when we get solar flares. I mean, it's an energetic thing that happens here on the Earth. They're neutrino particles that are so tiny that they can go through your body lengthwise and not even touch a single atom, like a single nuclei of an atom going straight through your body. So that's pretty freaking small. So you don't necessarily have to be laying out in the sun to get the solar codes. In other words, they're transmitted through subatomic particles also. So when we have these ejections and we get all this cosmic radiation flooding on the Earth. This is part of the way that the energies upgrade. The physical sun is the kind of the manifestation of the great central sun, or that light, or that spark of energy that created physical matter, basically. Or the light source of spirit, if you want to look at it that way. So that was coming up, and then UFOs popped up in my mind, and of course I love Dolores Cannon. For those of you that don't know her work, and are interested in things like evolution and UFOs and stuff like that, she's done so much research and put so many people under hypnosis, and it's remarkable consistency when it comes to UFOs and different researchers, people that don't know each other, remarkable consistency of experiences people have had visiting, like the Pleiades or Arcturus or Sirius. And there's actually apparently three different, we'll say races or species, connected with the Sirius star system. um, and remarkable consistency. So I think we in the next couple of weeks we may hear more about like disclosures or more sightings or stuff like that. Also, we're going to talk a lot about the Ascended Masters this month, especially on Spirit Mind Family, which is my Patreon group. If anybody's interested, check that out. We do a monthly theme, so we're going to work a lot with Ascended Masters. And according to the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus the Christ, which is my go-to book on esoteric Christianity, by the way, or one of them, it said that there's 144,000 ascended masters walking on the earth as humans in any given moment in history. And this goes back to some of the Dolores Cannon work, where it's been said, through many different channels and many different experiencers, that that we have extraterrestrial intelligences kind of masquerading as humans, and that we've always had helpers from other worlds in our evolution as humans, that we're a seeded species, and that we've been guided and watched over, but they cannot interfere. And I think Gene Roddenberry was part mystic and part writer, because they talk a lot about we can interfere. There's a non-interference pact. That's the prime directive in Star Trek, that they're not allowed to interfere with our development, unless we get so foolish enough that we're going to blow ourselves up in the world, and they're allowed to step in apparently. But so that they guide us and help us, but they're not like interfering with our evolution. So I think we may hear more about stuff like that. um and my other thing that popped in, that things are likely to get very energetic. I want to say after the 9th for some reason, and I don't know what's happening June 9th astrologically. I think Sharita told me via text that June 8th is when Mercury starts to advance to the next degree point and is officially out of its station. Then Mercury stays in its shadow till it reaches 4 degrees Gemini. So while that's happening, and that happened, what's that, like around the 18th of June or something? So that's where the retrograde started. So basically, Mercury's going forward again, which is good because then we can start to go into that mode again. When Mercury's retrograde, we tend to go more within, and we tend to um, clear things from the past, stuff like that, kind of slow down a little bit. It's not a negative thing. It just is. So it's kind of like retracing its steps. So this is a good time to maybe retrace some of your steps in your planning when you're moving forward in your life with your plans and everything. And again, that happens still around the 18th of June. And then Mercury's all like going, heading into new terrain again. And we get a little bit more adventurous. So, we may start to see from around the 9th, 10th of June on things starting to boil up, and the prospect of developing like civil strife or even leading into civil war not out of the question, the way things are starting to culminate and the way things are starting to build up. So I think in another week or two we may start to hear more about food shortages, about wheat or staples or stuff like that. As I'm saying that, I feel like they're saying that's going to be more of an issue outside of the U.S., but it'll still be an issue here as well. And not that I'm drawing any conclusions or any connections whatsoever, but we still should keep in mind that the Bill Gates Foundation owns much of the land that people grow food on. So there is at least through that and through some of the things that we've been able to tangibly prove, not theorize on or whatever, that that there is a connection with the Bill Gates Foundation, and we'll just say global interests. And um so the fact that basically what that boils down to is that there's a centralization happening with food supplies around the world, and it's seen in the U.S. with the foundation owning a lot of the land that the food's grown in. So things to keep an eye on. Keeping your finger on the pulse, so to speak. See what's going on with these major players. What's going on in terms of how things are being centralized, like with the WHO the pandemic protocols that are coming out, and how they can centralize and kind of dictate what the governments do in the next pandemic. And besides the United States, the Bill Gates Foundation is the primary funder, donator, funder. There's another word I can't think about it. Beneficiary. That's not even the word. Also, but in any event, they're part owners of the WHO. So anyway, draw what conclusions that you made, but the thing is, we should be aware of what's going on in the world, and we should be open. We shouldn't necessarily jump to conclusions. We should rather be present and take it in, and open our hearts, and listen to people, but make up our own mind. Stay in our own power. Stay in our own thing. So anyway, that's my lead in. Now I wanted to also talk about, I wanted to talk about the tarot because it's tarot time, right? And I just wanted to peek in and see where you are. Okay. Hi, Susan. Hi, everybody. Okay. It's new comments. Are there new comments? Oh, okay. I see. Love is not ever reptilian is bad. Dracos are dark and have been. The interesting thing is that, I was looking at some of Dolores Cannon's and they don't really talk about like the Dracos or the reptilians, or at least she doesn't so much. She's kind of like, and I'm not saying that again, you're going into things that people come up with, and that people come up with under hypnosis. There's sound evidence to support what you're saying, Michael. I'll just leave it at that. But it's interesting with Dolores Cannon how they're really talking more about the ones that are really helping us, not really working against us. Anyways, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but thanks for your comment. Whether high or not, the cost is. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's a good point. That the cost of food is going to keep skyrocketing, and again, this has an influence and impacting people's lives, and then somebody or a group of people can be in charge of how massive lives are being impacted through again controlling the level of inflation and so forth and so on. But anyway, getting back to tarot again, yes, I have my cards. I think about a couple of things like how to manifest with the tarot, because your tarot, we know it is a divination tool. It's fortune telling. I mean, I'm not a fortune teller, but divination is really getting advice from higher sources, and through tarot we can get your choice center predictions, or we can get a kind of an inkling of what's going on in the timelines and what may happen in the future or whatever. But everything's fluid. But you can also manifest with the tarot. By the same token that you can pick up on future events, you can also create future events. And tarot is energetic, it's symbolic, it's rooted in the Kabbalistic tree of life and the Kabbalah, and other mystery teachings, numerology, Chaldean numerology. It's all connected with these divination systems, and these systems of magic, of ceremonial magic, hermetics, things like that. What's the alchemy and stuff like that. So one of the ways you can manifest, and I love the 3 card spread, because 3 is the number of expansion, and it's the 3 in 1 and the 1 in the 3, like the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, or the matriarchal Holy Trinity, the Maiden Mother and the Crone, the Triple Goddess. So there's that 3 in 1 energy. So I like the 3 card spreads. So you want to do what do you want to manifest, and then pull 3 cards that kind of tells a story of it happening and manifesting. So and then do your prayers and visualize like any other law of attraction work. You can use tarot cards to augment it, or you can do like if you're into Wicca or magic or stuff like that, you can do spells using cards also, like with candles. It's all manifestation by any other name. It's all ways of enhancing our will and our ability to manifest our reality consciously, because we always do that anyways. It's for most people it's 95% unconscious. But so that, and the other thing is, if you, and I've said this before, if you want to learn a little bit more about tarot, in the morning just pull 3 cards, write them down, see what the cards are trying to tell you about your day, and then in the evening go back to the card, go back on your day, and try in hindsight to understand what those cards are trying to tell you about your day. And if you do this every day, over time you're going to develop a relationship with the cards. So working with manifestation, have the cards, tell a little story, with 3 cards, visualize, feel like it's happening, be grateful that it's already happened in your mind, make it so real that you can be grateful for an event or a reality that may not have physically manifested yet. And you can repeat that like 3 days, 7 days, 40 days if you want, or stuff like that as well. So let's pull a meditation card. So that's one of the things I like to do. And you guys are having quite a conversation here. Catch out on my half of. Okay. I'm missing out on a lot of stuff. Sorry. Yeah, I love Dolores too. Thank you, Aaron. Sharita is saying there's no certainty when the system collapses. There is no certainty at all. And if you have 401k IRA, yeah, we've been talking, and I don't think you have to be a psychic or a tarot reader to pick up on this stuff, honestly. But we're talking a lot about the money and to be careful about stocks and investments and how money's changing, and there's an inflation, but inflation's happen when you just add money to the Federal Reserve. I mean, it used to be printing bills, but now they can just do a data on a computer. If you're going to create more money, money's going to devalue. That's just dull, right? Um, so, but the thing is that we've seen, and we're not an economist, so this is just based on just very scant knowledge and observation. But after inflation, what comes next are recessions usually, right? Or always. So let's pull our meditation card for, oh, sorry about that. Love is uh, uh, in billions, no less. Oh, yep, in billions, maybe even trillions, but billions, yeah. Um, it's like you wonder who decides these things, like how much money we're going to create. Who decides that? I mean, money's energy, so it's like manipulating energy, basically. If they're going to do that, at least that's my take on it. So anyhow, I just need to clear my mind a second. Ask Spirit to guide me to the right card. This is the one. Oh, interesting. Okay, we haven't got one of these heavy cards for a meditation card yet. So, but this is what they chose. So we'll go with this. Firstly, there's no such a thing as bad or good when it comes to tarot. It just is, and we learn the most from challenge than anything. As a meaning, sometimes the Nine of Swords can be a lot of worries or a lot on your mind or anxiety or stuff like that. But as a meditation card, this is an excellent opportunity to go inside your own mind and start to maybe uncover things from your subconscious. We talk about shadow work integration a lot on the Medium channel. It's such an important tool. But the idea with shadow work is very simple. Like, if there's a shadow and you shine a light on that shadow disappears. Shadows can only exist if in darkness, right? That's what a shadow is. So the idea is to shine your light of awareness on the subconscious, and then you start to clear the shadows. And there's techniques, there's processes. I think I have a whole like shadow work playlist you guys can check out on the channel here. So what you want to do is like any when we meditate with tarot cards, the way that I recommend it, always get relaxed, get present, like any other meditation. In your mind, step into the card, whether you use this. This is the Hanson Roberts deck. This is the Nine of Swords. If you can't see the number, 9 is Mars ruled, by the way. So that's energy and action, but it's also completion because it's the last of the single digit numbers. So it's completing a cycle. And you step into the card, and you can meet with this figure, and there may be that we see what like it's almost like a little narrow window into a whole panoramic view. So we step into the whole view and see things you can't see in the card. But yeah, I'd say just with the meaning of the card and the energy of it, this is an opportunity to step deeper into your own mind and start to uncover things. Take a little flashlight in your meditation and look for things and shine lights on it. See where the little like denizens of the deep are hiding in the crevices of your own mind. So I think they want us to do a lot of internal work at this time. Things are we've been talking about this for a while. It's not like it's going to just keep getting pushed forward and forward in time. we're really at the we'll say the end times. Endings and new beginnings are the same thing, but we're at the end times now, and the next you know according to astrology, numerology, we can say even by the end of June it's going to get heavier again and into the summer, but the fall into next year really looks like crunch time. It feels like crunch time. I think a lot of things are going to start to fall away, a lot of exposure of things, a lot of old systems dying, and then a lot of new things that are coming in. We have to also be careful about metaverse technology and stuff like that, and how that's going to be used. Social passports, all these things are on the horizon. In my 2022 predictions, I predicted June to be the month where this would this pandemic would go into endemic, and this is just another example. And I think next year for 2023, I'm not going to do the month by month anymore, because too much of it's proving to be inaccurate. I'll just put it that way. Um, and the reason being is that timelines change. It's always going to be evolving or whatever. But what I think is happening, and who knows? I mean, by the end of the month, they may declare it an endemic. Who knows? But I think it's going to take a little longer than that. I think that's probably not going to happen until closer to the autumn at this point. But I do believe there's a lot of behind the scenes going on, and what they're going to roll out, and what they're going to try to lay on the public of the new normal, and what needs to be done because of this endemic, that the virus will not go away, that we need to do this, that, and the other thing in order to stay safe moving forward. But this is like the plan. You can travel now. You don't have to wear your mask. This, that, and the other thing. So I think all that's happening, even if it's not declared an endemic by the end of the month. Then I think in June, July, there's going to be a big question about leaderships and changes of leadership. So there may be important, like, cabinet member. Who knows? I predicted maybe Biden might even be forced out of office. I think again, it may be a different country, different leader, but I think there may be like cabinet members that leave, or something. There's going to be a lot of changes. It's going to be a little bit messy, but in any event, I'm kind of getting what's the right word? I'm digressing a little bit. That's the word. Getting back to the card. So that's the way to meditate with this. And again, it may be a reminder that whenever you feel anxious or worried, just take a step back. Try to be present in your anxiety or worry or whatever, rather than trying to suppress it. Be present in it instead. Sometimes when we allow ourselves to feel, then it's not so daunting anymore. I mean, people tend to avoid pain, including rough feelings and stuff like that. So the idea is to just allow yourself to feel, just to be with that, and then ask for insights, like why am I feeling this way? What's this trying to teach me? So anyway, let's do 3 cards and just see if you get a little bit of a snapshot of what's going on this week with things. Oh my God, you guys are really busy here. Invest in precious metal. Yeah, I just would love to invest in something like gold. But in any event, that's I've always been saying for the last 3 years that's probably your best bet. With the I mean, if you really are savvy with things like crypto and stuff like that, maybe dabble in that. But if not, yeah, I think gold and other precious metals are really going to stand the test of time in terms of being more stable ways of investing money and stuff like that. Let's see, all the money. Discuss these types of things. I'm sorry, you love it. I'm not really keeping up with the thread, so I don't know exactly what you're asking about. But on Patreon or Spirit Mind Family, we have a theme every month, but we do is we have 2 live videos per month. At least we're going to do that in June. We're going to start to do channeling with the master teachers in July on Patreon also. that's like another announcement that they want to deepen the work with us. So here on YouTube, I'm still going to do the full moons. It's going to be on YouTube. So it's not like I'm taking all the channeling from the free platform of YouTube and taking it to the crowdfunding site of Patreon. I would not do that to you guys. It's not about profit, but that said, they don't really want me to keep doing the deeper work on a public platform, because anybody can come in and see it, and we can attract a lot of negativity that way. So the deeper work we're going to take to Patreon starting in July. And on that note, either Tuesday, I think on Wednesday, but either Tuesday or Wednesday, we're going to do some channeling with the master teachers here on YouTube. And that entails energetic work. So what they do is they charge up, they light up my fields, and as I'm leading the meditation and I'm expanding my energies into the circle, the community that's working with us, they can directly influence your energy also to upgrade your frequencies and to help your to open up or awaken your DNA codes, to help strengthen your nervous system, to alter your cells to be able to transmit higher energies, higher frequencies through you. And that's part of awakening. And then you start to open up to your gifts, your supernatural gifts. We all have the ability to heal things like cancer and MS, and to heal each other, or I should say, we all have the ability to open our vessels so that God can heal us, and to heal each other, and to be super intuitive, to bilocate, in other words, to send etheric doubles, to remote view, to talk to the other side, to connect with our guides. These are all abilities that are within, that are encoded within our DNA, and as the frequencies increase, it starts to awaken these codes. So the master teachers, or the council of light, if you prefer, that are here to help us awaken. And they made it very clear that they'll work with anybody who's sincere about awakening, who's willing to do the work. And most of the work is really letting go. I mean, in the meditation, you just really have to just be present and be open, and allow them to work with you. So anyways, back to 3-card spread. I was gonna say, and I'm talkative, and I haven't even had any caffeine yet, but I had green tea earlier. I did have some caffeine earlier. How about you guys? Coffee, tea, or caffeine free? I forgot to ask you that this morning. Okay. All right. So asking Spirit to guide me to the best cards to describe this week. I'm seeing a lot with money, so that's another thing. We've been talking a little bit about it, but be mindful of your money, investments, all that stuff. Continue to do that. Here's my clipboard. And what do you know? 2 money cards came out also. So we had the King of Wands, or the King of Rods, reversed here. Then we had the 8 of Pentacles, and then we had the Page of Pentacles reversed. So again, we may be hearing news about financial markets. I'm seeing a lot with groceries, corn. I wonder if there's going to be like a corn shortage or something like that, because they just show me the image of corn in my mind. We shall see. Certainly, with the challenges with climate and farming and everything like that. I feel like they're just reminding me to say, just to be mindful of where you're buying your food, what quality of food you're buying. You people that shop at Trader Joe's, they have the same wholesalers that Walmart has, just to clue you in that their produce, it's not exactly like top of the line organic produce. Um, um, just so you guys know, in case you don't. But be mindful of things like that, like things like corn and wheat are heavily GMO'd, and means that they're altered, which means they potentially affect our bodies in ways that we may not want them to. So anyway, let me just see what this is trying to tell me. Let's see. I think Biden's coming under a lot of heat. What else is new, right? Eight of Pentacles is hopeful, though. I feel like as a community, as a group, um, energy is going to start to get a little bit better. One of the things that I've noticed, and that shows astrology, a lot of people have been saying, is that there's been a very high level of fatigue and lethargy, and just hard to just get motivated. For me, it started around Wednesday or so. Yesterday got a little bit better. Today's a little bit better. So I think as we get into midweek, there's going to be better flow of energy. We're going to feel a little bit better. But this is the time to really, again, plan. The Eight of Pentacles is the craftsman of the tarot, but I'm seeing this as like planning. What do we need to get through the summer? Just in case, just say something happened. I mean, it wouldn't take much of a solar flare to knock out the grids, because it's all satellite. Satellites are really vulnerable to space weather. Um, get a strong enough flare, you have no cell phones, no internet anymore. And if it's even stronger than that, then the electrical grid goes down. What would we do if that happened? That's a very realistic possibility that people don't think about. So, it's good to have that in mind. And I'm reminding myself, yeah, I mean, we're going to the summer months, so for me it's not as crucial, but having like a camping stove wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, I live in Catskill Park. I mean, if I have to, if there's no power, I'll build a fire pit, and I'll cook on the fire, while it's still warm out. But it's not just food, but supplies also, and it's a good idea to have cash. Have at least a few $100s of cash on hand in case you can't get to your ATM, in case your online banking goes down and you have no access to money. Yeah, these are things to start to really think about for the summer. Again, prepare for the worst, hope for the best. I find for my own life, when I really prepare and I take things seriously, it's the actual event 9 out of 10 times is less severe than I thought it could be. I think it's when we get caught with our pants down is the problem. It's like, oh my God, I didn't see that coming or whatever. It's like, why not? We've been talking about it for forever. And the Page of Pentacles pages are often about news. So I think we're going to hear a lot about money. But I feel like I get this feeling like a lot of protesting, or I mean, there's been a lot of violence going on. I mean, the school shootings, or what was the recent one? It wasn't even the school or whatever. Then, of course, it's all the focus starts to become on the guns. And again, there's all these diversion tactics in the news. It's like all the focus is all of a sudden on guns. It's like, what about the finger that pulls the trigger of the gun? Does that matter? I mean, guns are just what they are. They're just things. I mean, for me, that's not the problem. I mean, yeah, it's a problem when an 18-year-old can get assault rifles without adequate, background checks. But you know what? The issue is really like what's going on with the society. Why are people snapping like that? Why is that happening? Is it a mind control thing, or is it the pressures of society? What's really going on? So again, understand the news is going to try to divert your attention. Don't allow that to happen. And again, I can say this because it's not a theory. We know, and it's written into laws. Look at the fine print of the Patriot Act in 2001, that news has the power to censor information. The media has that power to do that. Unconstitutional in the states, yeah, but it is what it is. So we have to be aware of that and understand there is a plan. It doesn't have to be, Dracos or reptilians. It may be, but it doesn't have to be. But there is a plan. Follow the money, follow the corrupt flow of power. Who's benefiting, who's losing. There's always a pattern, there's always a trend. There's always a way to see through the smoke screens and understand what's really going on. Money is power, money is influence. He who has the most money rules the world, or she, or whatever. So that I think that's kind of what's coming up here. I think the idea for us as a community is to understand alternative ways of making money. Like, how can you utilize your skills, your abilities, your experiences? I don't know if you guys saw my last video that we uploaded Thursday. It's actually a meditation, but I had a pretty good talk in the beginning of that about how money works in the 2020s and beyond. It's not so much about time, like getting paid by, I mean, plenty of people do get paid by the hour. And it's not even so much about goods, not like it used to be. It's about value. Money really should be about value. So it's like how much value can you add? The more value you can add, whether you have your own business or you work in a job, the more value you're able to add, the more you're going to open yourself up to money, because that's the energy of money. That's the flow of money. I mean, in my case, it's very easy to follow the steps. It's like, have a YouTube channel. All right, let me back up a second. Like, I do readings, I do mediumship or whatever. I do get paid by the hour doing that. If I do a good job, I have more repeat clients. My schedule fills up more, but that is still finite. Like if I try to work more than 20 hours of mediumship a week, you might as well like visit me at the mental institution next week. That's just too much work. That's too much of an energetic load on me. But I have a YouTube channel and I have a Patreon account, and I'm doing online courses. Like and my job, my spiritual job is to be a spiritual teacher, is to assist in the awakening. That's why people give me the time of day. That's why I have followers here on YouTube. Most people that started when I did aren't on YouTube anymore, because nobody would follow them. Nobody would watch their videos. So there's a reason for that. So the thing is, if I'm adding a lot of value, that means I'm going to have more people on Patreon. I'm going to make more money. It's not that I'm working more hours. So it's not about hours. It's about value. And then as I do my courses, if I'm doing a really good job here, which is free, and on my other social media and on my website and my blogs, if I ever start doing that again, and all of that stuff, it's not it's about adding value. And then the better job I do, the more followers I have, and then the more money I'm going to make. So anyway, you get that can apply to your job too. It doesn't just have to be about a business, but understand it's about your experiences. We all have multi-million dollar ideas somewhere. We all have the ability to make money. Some people much more so than others, because many people are socially and economically disadvantaged. And for people like that, it's much tougher, but not impossible. Of course, there's exceptions to every rule. So just want to put that out there that way, so nobody feels offended or feels that I'm being insensitive to people that have disabilities or just can't possibly do what I'm saying that they can do. There are exceptions, all the rules, but for most of us and people in this community, this definitely applies. So, again, these are things to keep in mind. There's something you can add value to the world, to your job, to a smaller group of people, or whatever. There's something you've overcome in your life. There's something that you have an expertise in. There's something that that most people don't know. There's somebody out there that's making 6 figures a year teaching people how to fix their Subarus. Just to put that out there. It doesn't have to be in the spiritual arts. We have cars, we drive. If we know how to fix our own cars, we save thousands of dollars, right? So people are making money from that. So there you have it. That's what I feel like I'm supposed to talk about with these cards. So moving right along. Army of citizens who are level-headed, that own guns and are trained to use them. Exactly. Yeah. I tried not to go into that anti-gun narrative. The right to bear arms is in the Constitution. I'm not anti-guns. In fact, part of my martial arts training was learning firearms. Um, it's the finger that pulls the trigger. That's where the issue is, and it's the mind behind the finger. And it's the society. It's the problem with society. It's not just a few people. It's society's problem, and making guns harder to buy is not going to stop people from getting guns. Like did the Rockefeller drug law stop people from using drugs? Did the prohibition stop people from drinking? You know, that's the thing. It's diversion of attention. Understand the tactics. It's the science of technology. If you can understand that then you have a leg up on surviving this crazy time. Uh, okay, so these are my Native American tarot that I got last summer because I forgot my cards when I went to Lilydale. Then I get some Native American cards, and they were so different, but I read with them, and they were great reading, so I love them. This is the card that they want me to pull. Medicine Woman, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Um, you are, I'm seeing this, I feel like I'm supposed to say, you are the medicine. It's I mean, I've done in the past, I've done different plant medicines, TP ceremonies, San Pedro, ayahuasca. I've experimented with a lot of that psilocybin and all those plant medicines. At the end of the day, you just discover through this path that you are the medicine, that these are just your tools or your helpers in that phase of your evolution. Now, the card itself isn't about doing plant medicines or hallucinogenic drugs or anything like that, but it's to me, it's about knowing that you're the medicine, and whatever you do, charge your energy into it. Whether it's like even if you drink water, so charge your energy. Water is very, very, very. What's the right word? Menial. I can't even think of the word. But in any event, it's easily programmable through our mind and our will. Being that we're 70% water and all, and it's a wonderful conductor of energy and electricity. So basically, what you do is you open your heart and feel love and gratitude and project that into your water. And then when you drink the water, you're taking in that vibration into your cells, into your blood and everything like that. So make everything like a medicine. Everything that you do should be your medicine. It should be something that's helping to uplift you and heal yourself and heal others, and understand that you are very powerful. And the other thing is, I have a feeling this is also telling us, helping us to be a little bit more like independent or self-sufficient. I mean, yes, we have community for a reason, and we're community animals. We're meant to work together towards common goals, but the power is like within you. So let me see what else she's doing here. It's kind of almost looks like these trees are almost look like antlers coming out of her as well. Yeah, be grounded, be rooted, and create. I feel like this is about creativity, and I think again, while Mercury's stationed, it's kind of like the planet of movement's not moving, which can be a bit of a problem in some ways, but it can be very introspective in other ways. And I think this is really the time to go within more than anything. So I'm going to leave this out in case I get another message from her. Wanted to do my medicine cards also, staying with the Native Indigenous American theme, as it were, Native American, Indigenous peoples of the world. The card. Wow, alligator, cool. Um, I have no idea. I mean, alligators have thick skin. Trying to think, because I have no idea what this card means. They have thick skin. Yeah, any amphibians are, like frog medicine, alligator medicine. That's a gift to be able to dwell in two worlds, in the world of feeling and the world of matter, basically. But what does the medicine card say about key 50 in the not tarot, in the medicine card? Alligators. Okay. Alligator integration. I've been talking a lot about integration of you. Like you can really see this. Let me read this to you here. Alligator, let me drop my judgments, accepting life with grace, so that forlorn care and worry will vanish from my face. Let me integrate each moment, digesting life with ease, counting all my experiences as equal opportunities. So, the powerful gift of alligator medicine is to fully appreciate and integrate all that life offers. Gator shows us the value of thoroughly digesting both the pleasures and pains of life. In many ways, alligator medicine is reflected in its behavior. When Gator rolls under the water with its prey, its message is to roll with the punches when being attacked by life's circumstances. Carefully storing its prey under a log until the meat is tender teaches us about patience and proper timing. Choosing to laugh when tangled in your own seriousness can immediately diffuse the stranglehold of anger and judgment, self importance, and inflexibility. Once your rigidity is removed, you are free to again integrate the present set of circumstances, finding what you may have formerly overlooked. Then you can learn Gator's lessons on how to digest the value of any life lessons. Integration, and that's part of what the master teaches when they do the channeling. What they try to do is help to integrate our parts. Like when we have traumas, when things happen, part of our soul or our essence gets kind of trapped in different timelines, in different situations and stuff like that, and it leaves us weak and vulnerable to like programming, illness, and stuff like that. So there's that's also part of shadow work is learning how to reintegrate. And I've been worked for a while with Archangel Raphael with that, and the one defining moment when he took me to my room when I was 6 years old and crying after I got punished and feeling like nobody understands me and blah blah blah, and crying and thinking in my mind all these horrible things I was going to do to my parents or whatever. So Archangel Raphael took me back there, and then I kind of comforted my 6-year-old self and just told him, you are special, you are beautiful, just kind of giving him all these compliments that you have things have to be hard, that you're different because you have you have a special mission in life or whatever. And I'm doing this, I could see like the boy in my mind just kind of like smiling through the tears. And right in that moment when I caught that energy, I just hugged this boy, brought him back into my heart. Then Archangel Michael brought me back into the present. And then that was like like to me that was a soul retrieval, not the way that the indigenous people do them, obviously, for those that know what soul retrieval is, but it's bringing that fragmented part from a trauma in childhood and integrating that back with the totality of my soul and spirit. And that's what we really need to do. Understand the world is trying to fragment us, it's creating all this duality or whatever. It's up to us to stay integrated, to stay in our heart. The heart is the strongest electromagnetic generator in the body. If we build the frequency of the heart, it's magnetic. It pulls in all these soul parts back into the totality of our being. So without further ado, let's pull an angel card. I know I'm running long today. I think the days of doing this in a half hour are done, but I'm still going to aim for 45 minutes. But I have a sneaking suspicion we've been longer than that already. But it's not quantity; it's quality. So anyway, I'm just going to shift my mind or shift my energy a second. Ask for messages from the angels. This is the card that wants to come out. We got Yvonne. You have a special bond with, let me show you this. So back to the nature theme, you have a special bond with animals, it says. Your pets on earth and in heaven are watched by angels. Watch, so, right after doing the animal cards, I think the idea here is to really understand or connect with animals, connect with nature. We say this a lot. The society tears us down. The electromagnetic frequencies from computers, Wi-Fi signals, 5G, etc., tear down our systems. Nature can restore that. That's what nature does. We came from nature. We have the same vibration that nature does. When we reintegrate with nature, then again we can reintegrate with spirit or source or the totality of our being. So this is a good reminder to bond with our pets, our animals, and maybe learn how to communicate with them or talk to them. So it's kind of like getting back to nature, getting back to simplicity seems to be one of the underlying messages. So on that note, I'm gonna finish up for the morning. I think Wednesday, but it may be Tuesday. We're gonna do some energy channeling, through the master teachers. I like to do a little bit of heart brain coherence when I do these, to help integrate the heart and the brain, and that way you become coherent with spirit also. So Archangel Raphael usually works with us in these sessions also. And then what we like to do is we like to expand and raise our frequencies and then project that into the collective and help to raise the collective. Yeah, we have two choices, and it's going to fall somewhere in the middle, but we can either allow collective consciousness to affect us, or we can in turn affect collective consciousness. Of course, it's going to go both ways in the real world, but the idea is that the more we can affect collective consciousness, the more it's gradually going to change. And the more people that do that and project it or influence it with love and gratitude and those high vibrations, peace, because that's a big one today also. And the more we do that and the more people that do that, the more influence it's going to have. So, one or two people have a tiny, tiny influence, but half the world doing it, it's going to change, consciousness forever, basically. So I will leave you with a quote from Peter Gabriel's song Biko about the activist in South Africa, Stephen Biko, who got killed by the police, whatever. But the line in the song is, you can blow out a candle, but you can't blow out a fire. Once the flames begins to catch, the wind will blow it higher. So let our candles shine, and the more candles that shine, the wind will sweep it up. It'll become a big bonfire, and then consciousness will shift. Anyway, I love you. Thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful week. Enjoy your Sunday, and we'll catch you soon. Bye.